Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 23rd year on the air here in Memphis, Tennessee, in the Odyssey Studios, also the studios that we share with the Memphis Grizzlies, who are rolling right now.
They are rolling.
They are rolling right now.
Number one in the Western Conference.
Way to go, Grizz. We're not going to talk about the Timberwolves or anything right now, okay? 'Cause I don't know if this next guy's a Timberwolf fan or not, but he's from Minnesota, and that's Austin Felix. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning.
Hey,
Probably better not talk about the Grizzlies. I'm still a little upset about the playoffs.
Yeah, it was a fun one, but you got Rudy Gobert, so you guys are set. If you could ever get over 500, y'all be really good. So come on now. So we're going to talk fishing with Austin here because I know 2022 Elite Series Rookie of the Year. I've looked at a lot of these things, Austin. Consistency is one of your strong points, but I know not all year long can you fish, unless you ice fish up there in Minnesota where you're from and everything else. But you have another passion. Now, I'd like to talk about, let's talk a little duck hunting with you. I mean, I know your season is frozen out a long time ago, but tell about your passion for duck hunting to our listeners.
Oh, shoot. I mean, I grew up basically duck hunting as soon as our season ended. The one nice thing about our seasons up here is fishing pretty much gets locked up come end of October. That's almost the exact point when the duck season starts. So it's a pretty smooth transition every year. And before I got to the Elites, back when this was more of a team tournament game around here, I used to duck hunt, 40-plus days of the season.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I obviously don't get to do near that much now, but
you're a little busier now. I think you're a little busier now. But what is it about duck hunting that appeals to you?
Oh, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's got to be the action. And that's why it's a lot easier to get a lot of the young guys into duck hunting more than, say, deer hunting, pheasant hunting, that kind of thing. I mean, if you're on them, you get to pull the trigger a lot. You get to watch a lot of birds. You get to have a lot of fun, and
you do.
It's a more active sport than a lot of other hunting activities in this field.
And of course, you guys get to hunt a lot earlier because we're hoping you push them down here. We hope they don't stay up there in Minnesota all this time, but. Duck hunting is one of those things that you can take the socialized part out of it. I mean, you're in the duck blind with other people. When you're in that bass boat, is there any comparison to then by the Austin Felix that we know in the bass boat compared to the Austin Felix that's in the duck blind?
Oh, not really. I mean, when it's tournament game, when it's fishing season, it's pretty serious. Kind of nose to the grindstone, trying to focus on every little thing you're doing. But when you're in a duck boat or whatever, it's a lot of time to cut up and have a good time.
That's what I know. That's what you've done. Also, I know you went to the University of Minnesota. You got that degree. How important was that to you?
As far as fishing goes?
No, as far as just life, because you guys have to be able to handle so much more than some of us old-timers in the other days. And I know it's an inspiration to kids to see what you've done, particularly Rookie of the Year in 2020. Because you had to put things aside to go to college at the same time, right?
Yeah, so I actually took a year off of school after high school and that before I went to college. And honestly, that turned into 2 or 3 years off where I felt like I was just sort of getting my outdoor education, hunting and fishing the whole time. But I was always 100% sure I was going to go back, and I didn't want to not go to school and then keep laying it off and not get back. So when I finally did make that decision, it was huge. I ended up getting a business degree.
Yes,
which I thought was the best way to go, especially when I knew I wanted to do the whole fishing game. Mainly, it's all about being able to market yourself and public speaking and run a business where you're the only product you have. So
that's right.
All those things are really important, even though I still do not like public speaking, and it's not the most fun, but it was definitely helpful. And I would suggest anybody who wants to do this get at least take those classes.
Talk about being helpful, Austin. You started out 2020 Elite Series Rookie of the Year for BASS. You've qualified for the Bassmaster Classic. You have qualified for the 2023 Bassmaster Classic coming up here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Are you ready for
it? Is he ready?
I'm as ready as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We were able to get there. I've seen the lake once when we went there in 2021, I believe. And a good buddy of mine, Gussie, from up here in Canada. He won this thing running away with it. So that gave hope to us northern guys that we can take a shot at this one.
Well, I know that a lot of things go into this thing. Somebody told me, and I got to pop this, do you still listen to Harry Potter audiobook? I've heard that.
Oh yeah,
you do. Yeah. All right. Now that's a real. That's a long way from the duck blind and the bass boat. But you use that for what reason? What do you do? Why do you do that?
I just got all the audiobooks on a phone app at this point. And every single drive that I have to go to a tournament this year is going to be more than 13 hours. Listening to talk radio and stuff it gets boring, and you feel like you hear the same thing every 20 minutes. So throwing in an audio book, and then you can just go. The books are anywhere from 12 to 24 hours worth of audio listening. So
he's got them down.
It's something to keep me motivated, and it's just another way to pass the time.
Well, a lot of passing time. Again, we're talking to Austin Felix out of East Prairie, Minnesota. Talk to him a little bit about his love of duck hunting. I guess when you're born in Minnesota, there's no shortage of lakes. How was your duck season?
Not stellar. Just like everywhere else, there wasn't a lot of water around.
That's right. Okay. Well, you got 10,000 lakes, man. What do you mean there's no water? Huh?
I mean, there wasn't a lot of puddle water.
There you go.
A lot of the marshes and the cattails didn't have a ton of water in them. Like, I do a bunch of duck hunting too, and or a bunch of pheasant hunting too, and throughout the whole season, you can pretty much cut across all the duck sloughs that usually would have water in the middle of them. They were all pretty well dried out. But,
that's amazing. That's amazing when you think.
The other thing was, we usually, I look forward to our season ends the week after Thanksgiving. And a good season for me would lock up almost everything but the biggest water before Thanksgiving, and then all you get to hunt is really big water. Yeah, and that's when we kind of get to dial in on those golden eyes and those big diver ducks. Real late. Those are the most fun. But this year was a little too warm. They didn't lock up most of that stuff, so they didn't get consolidated nearly as much as they usually do. So.
You're talking about ducks we never see. Okay, I'd just love to hear them that there are in existence.
Yeah, we have the diver ducks down here.
But when we get to these and no water, we had that. And, of course, now we got plenty of water. So we got to ask you, as we let you go here in just a few minutes, about 2023. Ron hinted, and he'll be at the Classic representing Outdoors of Larry Ray, and hope to talk to you, Austin. What's 23 look like for you? What's your goals you set for this year?
Oh, shoot. Last year I accomplished a lot of my goals, being able to qualify for another Classic and finally be able to win an Elite Series event. So from this point, I think it's just try to continue to improve. At the beginning of every season, Angler of the Year is always the top goal, but you got to be real consistent to pull that off. Polinick did it last year, Seth did it 2 years ago, and it's definitely the pinnacle. That's what you go for, but obviously winning another event would be great.
Have you got some new sponsors? Got some new sponsors for this year that you need to let us know about?
My three biggest sponsors this year are Aris Rods. It's an Italian rod company.
Right.
But, I mean, Italians make the coolest cars and the best shotguns.
Okay.
So you figure they'd probably make a pretty good rod, too. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Then Dakota Lithium stepped up really big for me. They make
That's
a bunch
good.
of different lithium batteries for ice fishing, for RVs, for trolling motors, for everything you need.
Yeah.
That and then Blackfish Apparel. This is an apparel company it's right down the road from me. They make some really awesome apparel equipment.
Blackfish.
Rain gear.
Okay.
Yeah, Blackfish.
So you've gone from Blackfish down the road to an Italian rod. I mean,
Yeah, that Aris rod is a really, really nice rod.
If anybody knows rods, it's Ron. You know, I know that for a fact. And did you have another one you wanted to mention?
Those are the three main big ones that they've all been with me for a few years now, and they've stepped up. And, yeah, we're just continuing down the road. I got the truck and boat wrapped.
All right, yeah.
Yesterday I picked it up, so now we're piling all the equipment in there, and I'll be hitting the road end of next week.
The end of
Austin,
next week.
I've got to ask you.
Yeah.
I think you dress very stylishly on the boat, and then when you go up to weigh-ins, like at the Classic or everything, you have some pretty fancy pants that you wear.
Now, I was going to ask you that, Austin. Here comes Ron.
I got to tell you. And, you know, it kind of reminds me of John Daly in the golf world. But
all right. There you go.
You know, and are you going to be sporting some new styles this year?
I want to know that.
I kind of have the one style because I got the blue Argyle on my jersey and on the boat wrap and everything, so I'll be running those same pants. The funny thing you say that with John Daly. So the quick story is when I qualified for the Elite Series, they didn't let you wear blue jeans. You had to wear a pair of slacks or something.
That's right.
So obviously coming over from FLW, I was wearing pajama pants. You know that's not going to slide.
Yes.
So I've managed to scour the internet and find a pair. The pants that I'm actually wearing are like $high Nike golf pants.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
John Daly woodwear. So I'm like, here's my way around this rule. These are a nice pair of slacks. They just happen to be a blue Argyle pattern.
Well, you've just made many more fans in this area by mentioning John Daly. I can tell you that for a fact. But anyway, hey, Austin, we appreciate you, buddy. We're going to let you go. We hope great year in 2023, and we got
I'll see you at the Classic, buddy.
Ron will be at the Classic. All right, Austin?
All right. We'll see you guys later.
All right.
Appreciate the call.
Hey.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors of Larry Ray.